You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Pahrump for 4 years. Give them a call, 775-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New, service, and repair. Call Gunny's, 775-727-6800.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices on this Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. Emergency crews respond to Lola Lane, where a woman was trapped inside her vehicle due to today's flooding.
Today, shortly after 1 p.m., dispatch received reports of a vehicle submerged in floodwater on Lola Lane. When rescue crews arrived, they found a sedan with its front end completely underwater. According to the initial report, the driver had misjudged the exit due to the high water levels, which had covered not only the roadway but also the ditch separating the parking lot from the street. As water rushed through the dashboard and into the vehicle, rescue personnel instructed the driver to climb into the back seat for safety. Crews were able to successfully reach the woman and bring her out of the vehicle. No injuries were reported.
News 25's Haley Grabby has your daily arrest report, which includes reports of domestic battery.
On November 17th, deputies arrested a man for domestic battery following an incident involving his girlfriend. According to investigators, the victim drove to the residence of the suspect identified as Gavin Reeves, after the two had planned to spend time together. When she arrived, Reeves reportedly changed his mind and came outside yelling at her and demanding that she leave. As the victim began to cry, Reeves allegedly punched the driver's side door and window of her vehicle, causing the window to shatter. When she attempted to drive away, deputies say Reeves grabbed her arm through the broken window. The victim later realized she was bleeding from the cuts caused by the shattered glass and believed her arm might be broken. Reeves then drove the victims to the hospital in his truck and, according to the report, instructed her to lie about how she was injured. She initially told hospital staff that she fell on glass before ultimately being treated for her injuries, including stitches. Authorities were alerted to the situation after a post about the incident appeared on Facebook. Reeves was later contacted by law enforcement and arrested. He now faces charges of domestic battery for allegedly battering a person in a domestic relationship and pulling her arm through a broken window.
Extension cords are a holiday staple, but they can also be a fire hazard. Valley Electric and Fire Chief Scott Lewis would like to share essential safety tips to help prevent electrical fires from extension cord use.
This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Valley Electric and its family of companies focused on serving our members. We're better together.
Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue often responds to fires sparked by various sources in the winter months. Fire Chief Scott Lewis tells us how to safely use extension cords.
Almost every single appliance should be plugged directly into an outlet, not to an extension cord. Most often we find that the extension cord failures are because they're kind of tightly woven still, they're not spread out, they're placed under materials that causes resistive heating, therefore we have then the secondary fire event. The other thing too is to consider is don't put them all on the same chain of electrical outlets, because you can still overload a system, especially on manufactured structures. They're designed for certain applications in those outlets. So when you start placing high amperage, high wattage, then you can overload the system, and therefore you can have a fire within the walls, or it can impact the outlets, the plugs that plug into the outlets, and that's what we've seen across the board.
Placing an electrical cord under a rug or carpet can cause a fire. Here's why.
What that does is it doesn't allow the extension cord to release any heat buildup. And there's some good examples here. I know you'll film in a couple minutes where you'll see rings around an extension cord. That's because it doesn't have the appropriate ventilation. It's wrapped tightly. It causes resistive heating and can ignite the extension cord or the materials that are placed upon it. There's something what we call series arcing, where there's an actual arcing between the plug and the outlet. You may not know that there's a problem until the problem presents in a larger fashion.
News 25 was on hand Tuesday morning, November 18th, for a luncheon hosted by Core Civic at Great Basin College. Chris Palermo is speaking to the warden at the Southern Nevada Detention Center and hopes to connect community members through these meetings.
Chris Palermo, News 25. We're out on a very rainy day here at Great Basin College. Kind enough to host a meet and greet, a luncheon. The main purpose is to really have the CoreCivic, the Federal Detention Center, get together with the community. And I have the man at the top, the warden. Welcome for coming on. Welcome for being on News 25.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate you guys being out here.
Tell us, we're having a luncheon, and because you want to have the community come out and learn more about the facility, update it. We had some delicious pulled pork. That wasn't the main reason we're here. Tell us, what do we have for word?
I just want to make a connection with the community. Make sure the community knows that we're part of the community here. We have lots of employees that live out here in Pahrump. And also to make the connection with fire department, emergency, sheriff's department, Salvation Army, so that they know where they can come out. And we're always out there willing to help. And then that way we can plan events with these other state or county agencies, so that we can be a connection with the community. And this is just for a meeting, just to make sure that we know who's our fire chief, who's our sheriff, who's those people, so that we can make that contact. We want to be part of the community.
That's what I think. Why do you find that that's important? Okay, because people maybe listen, there might not even be some residents that even know your facility exists.
Sure, yeah, but it's not about the facility, it's about CoreCivic and what we mean to the community. CoreCivic's community-oriented business, and we just want to make sure that we're out there supporting the community.
What are some of the positives happening right now surrounding the company?
Just a lot of growth, a lot of good things. Right now, CoreCivic is just a solid foundation for employment. We invite anybody that wants to apply for CoreCivic, come on down and put in an application, and there's all kinds of positions available within administration and whatnot.
Yeah. So tell us, as the warden there, what is your philosophy to how people go forward?
Community betterment. Community betterment. Everything is about the community. Everything I do is for the community, about the community, and because of the community. Okay. It's just it's a normal company. We have lots of administrative jobs. I would suggest that if people are interested, go on the website. We'll check out CoreCivic, and you'll be able to see exactly what we offer.
What's in the future now? We'll wrap it up with this.
No, we're just going to be part of the community here. We'll have another event, a community event, and we're going to always invite the community, come on out and be part of what they need and what we want to provide for the community.
Thank you, Warden.
You're welcome. We also have strong ties to the community with what we want to do with helping the schools. I think this year we've helped the schools out a lot more. The community betterment program. I spent some time over there I think it was last month. I'm also going to try and connect that community betterment program with the Salvation Army, with the job training and stuff, because Salvation Army is known for their job training and getting people for job skills. So hopefully we can make those connections. But just want to say thank you to you guys, and really appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Coming up on News 25, your all-important sports report and weather.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, in sports, the Vegas Golden Knights welcome the New York Rangers this evening. Here's your look at sports. Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Dak Prescott passed for 268 yards and 4 touchdowns, and Dallas dominated the spiraling Las Vegas Raiders 33-16 on Monday night. Raiders host Cleveland on Sunday. And it's hockey night in Vegas. Golden Knights host the New York Rangers this evening. The 2026 Hall of Fame, comprising of 27 former MLB stars looking for their chance to be immortalized in Cooperstown. Among the list of newcomers to the ballot is former A's left-hander Gio Gonzalez, who made his MLB debut with the green and gold in 2028. And the U.S. Center for Safe Sport today announced the release of a public service announcement called Protect the Dream. The PSA highlights the need to safeguard every athlete in every sport.
From the steepest slopes to the highest stakes, we all come from somewhere. Every moment, big and small, between the early mornings and the late nights, balancing it all. Drop off at daycare, remember to eat, therapy at 3. Every practice, trying again and again to beat the clock, make that shot, land that trick. Every moment has led to this. When we're united in protecting athletes, we protect the sport, the moments, the dream.
And that's your look at sports on News 25. If you tend to get upset after your favorite team loses, you're not alone. But why do sports make some fans so emotional?
Today's health report is brought to you by Desert View Hospital. When you or a loved one needs medical attention, Desert View Hospital is ready to help. We've been providing friendly and compassionate care to our neighbors since 2006, including emergency services available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Visit desertviewhospital.com to learn more. With limited exceptions, physicians are not employees or agents of this hospital.
So it's that sense of collectiveness, that sense of belonging, right? You gather among people from all walks of life, but you have that shared experience that you're all rooting for the same team. And that can be very exciting. It can also cause a tremendous roller coaster of emotions.
Dr. Adam Borland is a psychologist at Cleveland Clinic. He says fans may also develop a parasocial relationship with the team. So when one of the players gets hurt, makes a mistake, or scores a touchdown, it feels much more personal. Dr. Borland says there's nothing wrong with getting excited or anxious during a game, but when your emotions start to become extreme, that's a concern. For example, you get really angry after your team loses and start to treat people around you differently. Maybe you're more standoffish or irritable. Dr. Borland adds that alcohol can also impact our reactions.
It's important to go into a game with a goal in mind, right? So if someone says, I know that alcohol exacerbates these symptoms, I'm going to either limit the number of drinks that I have, or I'm going to say, I don't need to drink during this game. There are other ways that I can manage.
Storage clouds and rain clouds all coming up after the break. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back to News 25. Josh Osborne from Great Computer Deals is here to tell us the difference between corporate grade and consumer grade computers.
Hey guys, Josh Osborne here with Pahrump Zone Great Computer Deals. It's time for another quick tutorial. Today's topic I want to talk to you about is the benefits of buying a renewed corporate grade computer. Let's talk about it. Most people don't realize that companies like Dell or HP or Lenovo have two different types of computers. They make the consumer grade, which you would buy at, say, a Walmart, Office Depot, Costco, and then they also make a corporate grade computer. Now, consumer grade ones are sold for the low price. When someone walks into a store, they're typically not educated on computer technology, so they're gonna base their decision on buying it on price. So they're gonna walk into Walmart and say, my daughter likes that purple one over there for $2.99, we'll take that. They have no idea what that computer is built on and what it looks like when you take it apart. We here at our store have a repair center, so we get those kind of computers in all the time. And guys, I gotta be honest, consumer grade computers are cheaper than ever before. You take them apart, the plastics are so cheaply made, the quality of the parts is bottom of the barrel, and they're designed not to be fixable and upgradable because they're soldering in a lot of the parts now. So when your computer needs a fix and a part goes bad, you can't replace it because it's soldered in place. If your computer is running slow a year later and you want to upgrade, say, the memory or the RAM, you can't because that is soldered in place. So their theme with doing these kind of consumer grade computers is to make them almost a disposable computer. Something you buy cheap, and after a couple years when it stops working, you throw it in the garbage, you go back to Walmart or wherever and you buy another one again. I don't really like that approach. I think it's bad for the environment. I think it's very wasteful. So here at Great Computer Deals, what we carry are not these cheap consumer grade. We carry the Dell, HP, Lenovo corporate grade computers that you see in those Fortune 500 companies. Why? Because those companies don't want cheap computers. Their entire business is dependent on computers working correctly. So they do not go down to Staples to buy 500 computers for their hospital. What they're gonna do is they're gonna get corporate grade computers instead from those companies. We do bring those computers in as renewed computers, ones that have come in off a corporate lease. A corporation that wanted, say, 100 Dell laptops didn't want to pay full price, so instead went through a leasing company and leased them for 3 years. When that lease ended, they turned those computers back in, and we take them and we resell them after full refurbishment. Batteries, hard drives, warranted, tested, everything's good to go, and then we can sell that computer at a much cheaper price. So for our customers here in Pahrump, it's a win-win. You're getting a name brand computer, you're getting a quality computer, one that's completely renewed and warranted locally, and most importantly, the price tag is not ridiculous. That is the way to go in 2025, guys. Consider renewed computers. And I encourage you to come down to the store and check out and see what we have. Don't take my word for it. Come and see these things in action and see why we're so confident in selling them to you and the Pahrump Valley community. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the video. We'll catch you on the next quick tutorial.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
That's the Lerner and Rowe WeatherCam. It certainly was a wet one today. We have snow all over the mountains, clouds everywhere. But what's coming up for the rest of the week? We'll tell you.
Weather is sponsored by the Nevada Dairy Farmers and the Dairy Council of Nevada, sharing the love of all things dairy. Celebrate the best moments with milk. Milk the moment. And the weather is also brought to you by the Ponderosa Dairy, Nevada's largest dairy, fresh from our farm to your table.
A lot of flooding today. Let's take a look at our temperatures. Up in Fernley, 52 degrees. Fallon, 53. Carson City saw 47. Tonopah, 46. They're going down to 31 this evening. 45 in Goldfield. 50 in Beatty. Amargosa saw 53. Las Vegas, 57. And Death Valley, that's pleasant, 61 degrees. Here in Pahrump, we're currently sitting at 51 degrees. With some rain in areas. We had a high of 53 degrees today, winds out of the southwest at 3 miles per hour. Humidity 80%, and the sun rose this morning at 6:24 a.m. Look for it to go away this evening at 4:33 p.m. It already went away an hour ago. Humidity will be 85% this evening. Winds very light southeast, 4 miles per hour. As we go down to a low of 44 degrees, let's check out the 7-day forecast. Tomorrow looks a little drier than today. We hit 55 tomorrow. Thursday, cloudy, and we have a chance for rain on Thursday. Also on Friday, we have some more rain chances coming, 58 degrees. But then Saturday gets better, 65 degrees. Sunday, 66. Monday, 66. It's going to be 66 every day next week, I think. So that's our weather forecast, and that's our news. Thanks for watching.